Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to Breakout Trading. Today is Thursday, November 12th. I'm not sure what day it is of the account. We're getting up there into the 30s now. And today was a pretty insane day. As you can see here, it all ended up equaling out to negative 187. But I took quite a few trades. We had an initial loser on the morning on FPRX, which I'll go over. Then a winner in Sino, gave it all back in one trade right after. Then three other trades on FPRX where I had a $10 loser, a $35 winner, and a $20 loser. So I'll be going over all that in this video. So first, let's just go over my little watch list I had today. We had a good list of gappers in the morning, honestly, so I was pretty hyped for this morning. We had EDRY pre-market, which was forming into this sort of bull flag here. Ended up breaking down upon open, and I didn't really touch it at all after that. We also had IMAC here, and these are all very low floats. You know, for instance, EDRY. EDRY was only less than a 1 million share float, so micro float there. IMAC had a 7 million share float. Up here, this one had like a huge rip in the morning and then just dropped. This is Sino, the one I had the losing on. I shouldn't have went so aggressive, because looking at the overall trend pre-market, it was pretty obvious that this thing wasn't just going to start ripping very easily. But that one was a very small float as well, 3.6 million, so it could have if it had enough volume. We also had a couple others that I took away because they died out. And then also we were watching FPRX for a continuation move day 2 after yesterday. Yeah, so I guess I will just go into the trades. So FPRX, man, this one felt so weird to trade. I don't know what it was, if I was just tripping out or what, but this one felt so manipulated. Like every time it looked like it was going to break out or go bullish, it like totally faked out and, you know, reversed on you. It was a very brutal stock to trade. So just ignore the lines for a second here. No, I'll just remove them all to make it easier. So this thing gapped up yesterday and it was in play, and it kind of just chopped around all day, and then it was still holding up very well today. So if you draw sort of a trend line here, let's just do this so it's a bit easier. You can see that it kind of double bottomed here yesterday, so it had a low of at 1660. It came up, tested that again after hours, and then made a nice move up. So if you take away pre-market, I'll mark off the high from yesterday on the open, as well as we kind of have a pre-market area up here that we will mark out. But instead of putting that there, I'm just going to leave that up for a second just for simplicity's sake. So we're trading in this channel right now, obviously. And today at pre-market we came up and just tested right at the start of that channel. So I thought for sure if we could break through this level, we would have a pretty nice chance to... This is the daily chart now on FPRX. To test this range from $26 to $28, and if you look at a weekly chart, you can tell that this level is pretty significant. It was resistance here, came up, tested it as support again, and then we broke below it, and as you can see, we came up just below that level. That was my final sell target if we, when I was trading this, was $26. Unfortunately, we never really got quite that high. We only got to about just under 25. So I guess I should have seen that coming, that it was going to get front run the resistance, but I was hoping that we would have a bit more room. You know, I guess 26 is right here. So yeah, looking at it again, I guess I was a little bit too optimistic of that resistance getting broken. You can see that in the morning, this morning already, the volume wasn't as good as yesterday. But anyways, that was my idea here, was we'd break this this kind of range at $24 and rip. So I'll zoom in a bit here. And I'm just going to go over all the trades on this one first, and then I'll go over to Sino just to keep the charts looking a bit cleaner. So we had that rip up pre-market, and then as you can see, we kind of made like a downtrending resistance line here, and we popped out of it right over top of VWAP. And the way stocks have been trading recently is they kind of are they just go. They have one big move with very minimal pullbacks, and if you don't make that move, you miss it, and then it drops, and that's it. So I was definitely being more aggressive today, especially that was one of my my goals or something that I wrote, is that if I'm going to only trade the morning, I can't wait for the that huge consolidation at lunchtime and then buy the breakout. I got to kind of get in and get her done right away. Yeah, so I longed it here. I'm reading my notes. I take notes on all my trades in the morning. Longed it here, sized up a bit, risking $18. We need a volume spike for continuation. Final sell at $26. And then, so that was this move here, and I was hoping that we'd get a bit of like a red bottom out here and get a red to green. So I'll mark out the low that we put in there. Yeah, so long here at 22.78, and it pretty much immediately chops around VWAP. It didn't look strong at all. It had this huge rejection here, but then came back up, made like it broke this high technically, but then didn't really go anywhere, which was not very nice. Chopped around a bit more. This looked okay, and then as soon as it kind of broke below this range here, I sold it there, and that was a $11 loss. And I decided to look elsewhere, and then I ended up marking off this range sort of here that I made a lower high. But as you can see, we came back, made a double bottom, and then the second trade was right here. So I was like, okay, I might have been wrong before. I wanted to maybe try and long the bottom here, but then we came up back above VWAP again, boom, made another higher high, and then we had a nice volume spike. Even though the volume was weird all day, this thing seems manipulated. I longed it here for continuation, and it crapped out again below VWAP. So I crapped out again there. I took another $9 loss here, and it sucks because it crapped out below VWAP and then rebounded right back up with this huge candle. So I got in again. I bought in way high up here at like 22.90. My risk was all the way down here, so I was risking a huge amount on this trade, maybe a little bit too much. But I knew from the very beginning of the day this thing looked like I wanted to rip, but it just wasn't doing it the way I guess was anticipating. So we had a loser, got in again pretty high. This one was a pretty kind of a bad entry. We've pulled back a bit and then oddly had a massive spike in one candle. That's what I'm saying, this one seems manipulated. Like, look at the volume. It's very choppy and very explosive, but then there's no follow through, and it's going above and below VWAP, just getting all the liquidity from longs and shorts. So yeah, I should have avoided this one, and I should have stopped on this trade. So I ended up getting pretty lucky here and made $30, $35 actually here on this push. I sold half right here when we got to the all-time or the high of day, and we broke out of that range, and I was hoping we would just start squeezing shorts, just rip right up to 26. That's where I would take my second piece and have a massive winner on the day. But we ended up chopping around here a lot, and then I took the other half off right here. We pulled back, and then this was the worst trade all day. This was the last one, and then I pretty much told myself I was done after that. This is the high here, and we're in a range. I was all out of my position after these two sells. The volume was starting to come in, and then as we broke out of that range, I went long 20 shares here, long right at the top, and we immediately rejected hard, and I had to stop out on this huge flush candle here for a $19 loss. So pretty much giving back, like, this thing was just a nightmare all day. I had one great winner on it, and then I went ahead and jumped right back in at the high of day just to give all that profit back from the winner. So this thing was very hard to trade for me today. I couldn't really get a read on it. It looked bullish, but I should have been paying attention to that daily resistance. The volume didn't add up to the price action, and the thing it was very weird to trade. So that was my day on FPRX. What are we actually net on just FPRX? So we're actually down 485 on this. So all of my trades, pretty much got canceled out because I had the one winner, but they all got canceled out. So pretty lame, not my best performance at all. And then we have SIN. Oh, well, this one was just so freaking annoying. So pre-market, this thing's selling off, right? That's what it kind of looked like. And then on the open, we'll go down to a 1 minute chart. So on the open, we sold off a bit, but we weren't really like downtrending, right? As you can see, we're kind of making this upward trending resistance line, or support line, excuse me. So right here, when we broke through this high, and it looked like we were going to break through VWAP and this high, and we had a ton of room, as you can see right here. We had a ton of room right here to run until we got to like near the pre-market highs way up here. So I was hoping that this thing could just start ripping. So I got in here with 30 shares, and lo and behold, it absolutely just rips from 270 all the way up to my sell point here at 320, which was an awesome $13 win right away. And then I made the mistake as I was like, oh, this thing looks really good. But I think it popped up too hard, too fast, on too light volume. There wasn't enough eyes on this, and it just immediately flushed. And I made the mistake of, I sold up here, and then I bought back in again here to buy the dip, look for a second push, but there was no second push. The selling and shorting was really heavy. I tried my very best to hold while it dipped and tested this, no bueno. This, no bueno. Red, red, red candle after red candle, and I eventually had to stop out when it made the little bear flag and then broke this this trend line. Stopped out there, and in hindsight, I guess it was a good stop out because this thing didn't look back. But pretty frustrating day. I feel like everything just canceled each other out. That's the best way I can describe it. I feel like I was one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back. I'm definitely increasing my size a bit here. These are some bigger winners, like $35. That's pretty awesome. I'm glad that that happened, or else I'd probably be sitting negative 50 on the day, which would have really sucked. But yeah, just overall pretty tough day trading. And I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I take a little bit less trades and just sort of tone it down a little bit, because I was trying to be aggressive, very aggressive on the open, because I didn't want to miss anything, but there just wasn't anything ripping. So if you're aggressive into nothing, you're going to get wrecked. So that's kind of what happened to me. Also, VXRT had a good move. Didn't end up trading that. Look at that, right up to that level I marked off, that daily resistance right there in pre-market. It's interesting. Acre also had a move. Didn't trade that one. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. GTech popped for a minute. Oh wow, GTech actually had a really good day today. I should just went back to GTech. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. So overall, even though we're only down 187 gross, I paid $13 or something in commission. So overall on the day, we were down $14.87. It is a red day, and honestly, feel like I got kind of lucky. I was pushing really hard on FPRX, and I'm glad that I didn't take a huge loss on it, especially on this dump. Look at where I cut the loss right away. That's how you got to do it. Cut the loss right away and avoid all this. So yeah, that's it, guys. Losing day today. We'll hit it again tomorrow. I don't think I necessarily did anything really bad. I kind of was a little bit aggressive on this, where I got stopped out, got back in, stopped out, got back in. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but you know, I saw something there and it was there, but then I thought maybe it was going to make a way bigger move than it wanted to. So yeah, that's it, guys. Adios.